Chapter 6 has finally launched and there are so many amazing items in this battle pass, but today guys, we're looking at the 30 best pickaxes in Fortnite. These are going to be a list of the most tryhard and best designed pickaxes that have ever been added to the game. And make sure you guys watch all the way through to see what the number 1 and number 2 position is, because I guarantee you want to be using these pickaxes today. Let's just get straight into it though guys, and the first pickaxe that we are talking about is the Knight Karma. This is actually the pickaxe designed for the Shadow Blade Hobe, and so far this does have two different styles. We never really see the dual-handed pickaxes staying that popular in Fortnite. I feel like a lot of people do prefer the default style of pickaxes, but since this was just added to the game in the Chapter 6 Season 1 Battle Pass, I feel like so many people are going to be using it. Obviously, you probably do want to pair it with the Shadow Blade Hobe skin, but the colors are really simplistic, so I feel like it is pretty much going to work with everything that you already have in your locker. Obviously, if you are going to be buying this Battle Pass, it is going to set you back 950 V-Bucks, or you could just subscribe to the Fortnite Crew Bundle and you get all of the new battle passes in Fortnite completely for free. That takes us forward though to the number 29 position, and we are going with the Dark Place Lamp. Now this is a little bit more of a unique pickaxe. I feel like not too many people have really been using this too much, but this is actually a pickaxe that we saw Clicks using a bunch. I really like this. There is just something about this pickaxe that is really clean. The design for it is so well done, and honestly these smaller and more simplistic pickaxes just have such a good design about them. I feel like there is so much potential for these moving forward. Because this is a collab pickaxe though, we don't really see this being too popular in Fortnite. I guess the same can be said for Sylvie's sword. This is so underrated at the moment. Hardly anyone has been using this, but I just feel like this could improve so much over the next few seasons if it does return to the game even more. I mean, we did just have a Marvel season in Fortnite only a few seasons ago. We had Chapter 2 Remix, and of course before that was an entire Marvel season, so there is a lot of potential for items like this, but it has just dropped off so much and we haven't really seen that many people using it. One pickaxe that people have been using a lot more though has to be the Spiralized Slicer. We saw so many people using this because this was actually part of the Billy collab that was basically the main phase of the Fortnite Mares update during Chapter 5 Season 4. The Fortnite Mares updates are always really well done. They always put so much effort into making sure these collabs are the best they can be, and they almost nail it every single year. The only downside is that these items don't really return to the store that often, so they are very underrated, and if you don't really pick it up when they are first added, you basically have to wait an entire year in order to be able to get them again. I really do like the design of this pickaxe though. I feel like this has so much potential moving forward, but we need to move on guys to the number 26 position, and we are going with the Bad Joke. Now this is a little bit different, and this is definitely a lot more of a meme pickaxe compared to what we have talked about already in this video. I feel like so many pickaxes so far have been quite tryhard. This is one of the biggest meme items you are going to see. You could only get this in the Last Laugh bundle. It did set you back around $40 in order to get this, but it was so worth it because this bundle was hilarious and included some of the best items that we have ever seen. I really like this a lot. I feel like it is going to be one of the best bundle items that we see moving forward, but unfortunately again these don't really return to the store that often because we last saw it during Chapter 4 and we have no idea when this is ever going to be added back. I guess another pickaxe that is actually pretty similar to this has to be Yoda's Cane. This isn't a bundle pickaxe, but it is a collab pickaxe with the Star Wars franchise, and Fortnite don't really bring back these items too often. I love these Star Wars collabs though. I think they're some of the best collabs in the history of the game. I'm a big Star Wars fan, so obviously I'm always going to buy whatever they add with the Star Wars franchise, but unfortunately they just never really seem to get the popularity that they deserve. I really like this though. I feel like Yoda's Cane is so flexible because you can use it with so many different skins in the game, and that is why we probably have seen some other pros and streamers using it already, like Clicks and of course Somerset as well. Outside of this though, there are definitely some other pickaxes that I feel like you can use in Chapter 6, and one of them is going to be Micro Bat Mallet. This is actually the pickaxe designed for the Baymax skin, and this is probably one of the more interesting pickaxes that we do have in the game. I feel like this is really only going to be popular for people that are using the Baymax skin or have at least watched the Big Hero 6 movie. It probably won't work with too many other skins in the game because it does have that custom custom animation, and it is a single-handed pickaxe, which I just feel like isn't really that popular in Fortnite today. Because it is in the Battle Pass though, I feel like it is so worth getting, and of course using as well. And since we have had some really OG rare skins added back to the game, like Catwoman, that would fit in with this really well, I feel like this will only get more popular throughout the season. You do actually unlock it on page 12 of the Battle Pass though, so it is definitely a grind in order to unlock it, but it is going to be so worth it. That takes us forward, guys, and let's move on to the Spectral Axe. We're going from one of the newest pickaxes in the game to one of the oldest, but we just had to mention it in this video. I really like this a lot. Obviously, the Spectral Axe isn't going to work in with every single skin in your locker because of the unique design for this, but that, in my opinion, just makes this even better. I feel like it is really only suited for a few different skins, and these are definitely going to be some of the more brightly colored skins in the game, like the superhero skins, or maybe even ISO. That is just going to make this combo so much better. It just means that you might be one of the only people in the world actually using this pickaxe because of how unique it actually is, and in my opinion, that just makes it even cooler. Obviously though, if you do want to use something a little bit more subtle, you can always use Widow's Bite. Now, this has been in the game for a while. It was actually part of the first ever Marvel collab that we had back during Chapter 1, Season 8, and this was also one of the rarest pickaxes that we had in the game. I mean, this only featured in the store once up until Chapter 5 when it finally got added back to the game. This was such a shock. I mean, I never really expected this to be added back. I thought it was always going to be one of the rarest skins that we had ever seen and just never returned to the game, but luckily it did, and so many people ended up buying it. I mean, it was so well designed, it is so simplistic as well for a Marvel pickaxe, and this just means that it is going to work in with every single skin that you own. It is also quite big and bulky though, so if you do want something that is a little bit smaller and more simplistic, then perhaps the Slasher pickaxe is going to be better for you. The only reason that I feel like a lot of people do prefer the Slasher is, again, this is one of the smallest pickaxes that we have, with hardly any other pickaxe in the game being as small as this. The other really cool thing about it as well is that this actually came to the game with the Michael Myers collab in a Fortnite Mares update a few years ago. This was so unique and so rare. I honestly never thought this would be added back to the game, but it was so well done, and we did just see this being added back to the store only a few weeks ago as well, which in my opinion just made this even better. I'm so glad they added this back. It looks so good, and it's definitely going to be one of the best pickaxes moving forward, especially for try-hard players. One pickaxe though that is quite similar to this is going to be Leon's combat knife. I mean, these are basically identical. They are very similar in terms of size, so I feel like if you are waiting for the Slasher to return, you could always buy Leon's combat knife instead. They're going to serve the same purpose. They are very try-hard as well, and I feel like for only 500 V-Bucks, this is a pickaxe that everyone should own. Let's move on, guys, to a little bit more of a common pickaxe, and we have the Golden Scythe. What is really cool about this is that we actually had this added back during the Chapter 2 Remix bundle. This was really well done. I was a big fan of this Remix bundle. I feel like they did such a good job with this, and obviously the Golden Scythe has to be one of the best pickaxes that was added. They basically took the design of the original Reaper pickaxe from Chapter 1 Season 1 and turned it into a golden pickaxe. The idea for this was so incredible, and obviously anything to do with the original Reaper pickaxe is always going to be successful, so I feel like Fortnite absolutely nailed this. That takes us forward, guys, and next up we have Dago's Claws. These are some of the coolest pickaxes that we have seen from this Battle Pass, but again, I feel like this is probably only going to be popular if you are using the Dago skin. These are pretty much designed for this skin. They are claws that fit in with this character so perfectly, and we do have two different styles for it, but again, I feel like people are really only going to be using them with Dago, or maybe other Battle Pass skins that we did get in Chapter 6, and you probably won't see too many people using these with skins like these superhero skins. Still though, I think they fit in with the theme of this season so perfectly. The black and gold edit style, or the golden claws, are probably my favorite, and you do unlock these on page 10, so hopefully these are only going to get more popular as we do progress throughout the season. Let's move on, guys, to the number 17 position, and we have the Studded Axe. This is one of the most try-hard pickaxes in the history of the game, but this is for a very unique reason. This is actually because this pickaxe makes almost no sound, to a point where people thought this is actually granting a competitive advantage, It is actually kind of crazy to think about. This pickaxe has been so good, basically because people thought it granted a competitive advantage. Honestly though, I feel like the design for this is so well done, we just had to include it in this video, regardless of if it grants a competitive advantage or not. I mean, it is so well done. It is going to work with every single skin in your locker, which I guess is a little bit of a common theme with a lot of these pickaxes. That takes us forward, guys, to the 999 knives. These were actually a free set of pickaxes that you could unlock just by logging into Fortnite. These were designed for the Juice World skin, or more specifically the Slayer Juice World skin, which again was the free skin that we got towards the end of Chapter 2 Remix. This skin was incredible, so it makes sense that these pickaxes are only going to get more popular in the future. We don't really know how tryhard these are going to become though, because again, they are dual-wielded pickaxes, and they just don't really stay that popular for that long. However, I feel like because these are designed for Juice World, so many people are going to be using these for the rest of the season, and of course the design is really simplistic as well, so even if you don't want to use the Juice World skin, or you never ended up getting this, you can use it with pretty much any other skin that we do have in the game. One classical pickaxe that we just had to mention in this video though is going to be the Star Wand. I mean, we just had to include it in a video talking about the best pickaxes. You can pick this up for 800 V-Bucks, so it is maybe a little bit more expensive than some of the other pickaxes we're going to talk about, but again, this has been one of the most iconic items in the history of the game, and it's probably unlucky to not be finishing up higher in this video. I mean, so many people love this. It is just one of the most iconic pickaxes I think we are ever going to see. It is going to work with every single skin as well, and I feel like this honestly does work with every single playstyle as well. So if you are a noob or a pro at Fortnite, you're probably going to love this. However, if you do not like the Star Wand because of the color styles, you might end up actually liking the Scully Scepter instead. The Scully Scepter was based off the Star Wand. I am sort of annoyed they didn't include this as an edit style for the original Star Wand though. I feel like that would have made it a lot more popular, but this was just added in as its very own pickaxe, and you could actually get this for 500 V-Bucks. I'm a big fan of this pickaxe though. I feel like for people that don't really enjoy the actual Star Wand, the Scully Scepter is going to be a lot more subtle and simplistic and work in with just as many skins as well, which is why I feel like this has been so good for such a long time. We still see pros like Somerset using it all the time, which is definitely keeping this popular at the moment. That takes us forward, guys, and next up we have the Turbulent Blade. This honestly could be coming in at the #1 position. I feel like this is going to be one of the better Battle Pass pickaxes that we ever have in Fortnite, and the coolest part about this as well is that it is actually reactive with the back bling. So when you use the back bling with the Turbulent Blade pickaxe, whenever you actually do pull this out, it is going to pull it out of the sheath on the back bling, which is really cool. I feel like this is going to be so popular, not just with the Battle Pass skins, and not just because it was added to the game only a few days ago, but just because this has such a clean design and is one of the best katanas in the game. We do already have a lot of people using this, and that includes a lot of pros and streamers as well, which is really only helping boost the popularity of this. That takes us forward though, guys, to the #12 position, and we have the Vault Guardian. The Vault Guardian is one of the more interesting pickaxes in this video, and it is also one of my personal favorites. I've been using this pretty much since it was added to the game, especially since I missed out on the original crowbar pickaxe. What I love about this is that this is a 500 V-Buck pickaxe in Fortnite, and again, it is going to work with every single skin in the game. But there is just something about the crowbar pickaxes that make them really successful, and I feel like this is just one of the best we have ever seen. The design for it is incredible. Again, this does feature in the store quite often as well, so if you don't already have this, chances are you will be able to buy it very, very soon. If you guys do want to buy a lot more expensive pickaxe, then the Candy Axe is going to be the best pickaxe for you to use in Chapter 6. Now, this is going to be a lot more expensive, coming in at 1,500 V-Bucks, which is honestly kind of crazy, but I feel like that just makes this even better. I mean, what we've seen with pickaxes like this is that sometimes the more expensive they are, the more tryhard they do end up coming. This is actually really interesting though, because I don't remember the last time we saw a pickaxe this expensive. I mean, Fortnite never really adds pickaxes that are this expensive to the game anymore, but still, for whatever reason, this has been one of the most iconic pickaxes in the game. They did actually remake this with the Merry Mint, but unfortunately that was its very own pickaxe, not an edit style for this, which would have made it so much better. That takes us forward, guys, to the Gilded Pincher. This was actually added during Chapter 2 Remix, so it is one of the newest ones that we have in the game. Again, there are a lot of amazing pickaxes that have been added in Chapter 6, Chapter 2 Remix, and of course going back to Chapter 5 as well. But I especially love this because I think the design for it was so well done. There is just something cool about this, and the fact that you can even unlock this for free just makes it even better. Again, this wasn't part of a ranked update where you had to grind out a bunch of ranked game modes. Instead, you could actually get this just from playing the reload game mode. This was such a smart idea by Fortnite to get more people playing in this game mode. I know it definitely made me play this and grind this out to unlock this pickaxe, so I feel like it was definitely worth it, and hopefully you guys did get this as well, because we don't know if this is ever going to be added back to the game. If you did miss out on this though, you probably also missed out on the Combat Queue, which was also part of the Chapter 2 Remix Battle Pass. The Combat Queue was designed for the 1-ball skin. I feel like this is actually one of the more underrated skins that we had during that season. Not too many people ended up using this, and I have no idea why, because I am a really big fan of this. I feel like 1-ball was so well done and has a really unique design, but obviously the Combat Queue never really gained the popularity that it deserved, but we are including it this high up in the video because the design for this is so good. It has been really underrated so far, and hopefully more people can end up using this in the future, but you might actually end up wanting to use something like the Gilded Naginata instead. This was obviously added for the December Crew Bundle, which means you can pick this up for only $10. I originally thought this was going to be added in the Starter Pack Bundle, but it is really cool that this is in the Crew Bundles because they have changed how these Crew Bundles work, and they are definitely much more improved. You get basically access to all of the passes that we now have in Fortnite, and you still get all of the cool items as well, like the Lady of Crane skin, and of course the Gilded Naginata pickaxe, which is one of the best Fortnite crew pickaxes I think we have ever seen, and for only $10 a month, it just seems so good, and I highly recommend you guys do pick this up. That takes us forward, guys, and we have the Rose Thorns. These are some of the newest pickaxes in the game, and what sets these apart is that these also might grant a competitive advantage. I mean, these are the quietest pickaxes that we have in the game right now. The Studded Axe has been so popular in Fortnite for such a long time because it is known as the quietest pickaxe in the history of the game, and it almost seems like the Rose Thorns are even quieter than those. This is a really cool design pickaxe though. The only downside for these is they do have a custom animation and are designed for the tier 100 skin, so it is a grind in order to unlock it. And as you guys know, dual wielding pickaxes never really stay that popular for too long, but I like these a lot, and both edit styles just look incredible. Let's move on, guys, and next up we have the Icebreaker. This is just a classic pickaxe. This has been in the game since Chapter 1 Season 1, so it is one of the most OG pickaxes that we have. I have always been a big fan of this. I feel like a lot of you guys watching this video right now probably already own this, so it isn't really worth me talking about it too much, but I just love this so much. I feel like it is one of the best pickaxes we are ever going to see. That will not change anytime soon because of how good this is, and I guess if a pickaxe has been popular in tryhard since Chapter 1 Season 1, nothing is really going to change that. I would love to see some additional styles for this being added. I feel like they could definitely do it for Winterfest as well, with just some other color variants, so we're gonna have to wait and see if that does end up happening. One pickaxe that I do prefer even more than this though would have to be the Harley Hitter. You can actually pick this up for 800 V-Bucks, so it is a little bit more expensive than the Icebreaker, but in my opinion this is definitely worth it. I mean, we've seen a lot of people using this in the past as well, but these DC items don't really return to the store that often, so I feel like this is actually becoming quite rare. There's just something about this where I feel like the design for it fits in with every single skin that you own. It isn't necessarily going to be the most try-hard item, but it also isn't designed for the meme players. I feel like it sort of fits in with those perfect casual players, and if you do want to use it in the ranked game modes, then you definitely won't stand out too much, but you also won't look like a complete noob. I would have loved to see a secondary style for this when we did actually get the Rebirth Harley Quinn skin added to the game, so I feel like that was a missed opportunity, but regardless, this is definitely something I would be buying the next time it's in the store. Another pickaxe that you guys should definitely buy the next time it features in the store though is the Axe of Champions 2.0, and hopefully this features in the store very soon. This has always been a good pickaxe. The only downside for this is that this went from being one of the most tryhard pickaxes in the history of the game and one of the most exclusive items to something that just features in the item shop all the time. I feel like that might have been the downside downfall of this. It is still a really good pickaxe though, and definitely something I feel like is worth owning. Obviously, it is cool to be able to use a pickaxe that only the best of the best used to be able to unlock through an FNCS tournament, so I feel like it is kind of cool that this is now in the shop, and only time will tell whether the Blade of Champions does eventually get added to the game. Let's move on, guys, to the number 3 position, and we have the Fiendish Wand. This is basically another reskin of the Star Wand, but instead fits in with the Fortnite Mares or the Halloween theme. I just think there is something really cool about this. We never really saw these being too popular, and I have no idea why, because this is one of my favorite pickaxes in the game. I feel like this could be so much better as well. Obviously, if these were all just added as edit styles to the original Star Wand, that would have made it so much better, so I don't know why Fortnite didn't actually do it like that, but that could always be something that happens in the future. The Fiendish Wand though is definitely worth buying. You could also unlock this for free, which I feel like just made it even better, but hopefully that does also mean it will feature in the item shop in the future for all of you guys that did miss out on unlocking this. But let's move forward, guys, to the number 2 position, and we have the Serrated Demon Fang Pickaxe. Now, I thought this is actually going to be added to the game right towards the end of Chapter 6 Season 1, but we have already seen this featuring in the store, and this is the pickaxe designed for the Shogun X skin. This is basically the big boss that we have seen on the map throughout Chapter 6. I'm a huge fan of this. I feel like this skin is incredible, so obviously this pickaxe was going to be good as well. It would have been cool to see a secondary edit style where this was flaming or had a glowing effect to it. I feel like that definitely would have made it a lot better, but still, this has to be the best pickaxe that we have seen added to the game in Chapter 6. That takes us forward, guys, to the number 1 position, and we have to go with the Leviathan Axe. I'm sure you guys saw this coming. The Leviathan Axe is going to be the best pickaxe in the game for you guys to use today, not only because this fits in with tryhard players and underrated players, but I feel like this fits in with every single game mode and game style in Fortnite. If you're brand new to the game, you're going to love this. If you have been playing the game since day 1, you're also going to love this, but it is also perfect for the people that don't really take the game too seriously. And again, if you are a tryhard player, then chances are you probably already own this. I'm a big fan of this pickaxe, so hopefully it does get added back to the store in the future, because I know so many of you guys are waiting for this to be added back. But there you guys go, that is my entire video talking about the 30 best pickaxes to use in Chapter 6. Make sure to let me know in the comments down below what pickaxe is your favorite, and I'll see you guys in the next video.